our electromechanical components. So now I start with our a simulator. So this is a real-time digital simulator for small hydro plant at IIT Roorkee at AHEC. Basically, the word real-time. Actually, real-time is that we had seen various terms like the mechanical starting time, the water starting time. So it takes some time the water to get started. Mechanical starting time some time takes by the equipment to get started to reach up to the rated speed. So this is a simulator where everything is simulated as per the actual project, where all the parameters are taken as happening at site. So this is a view of our the lab. This is our simulator lab, and you are seeing the front view. In the front is a simulator of our Francis turbine project. On we are having all these panels, our turbine panels, the transformer panels, operation of machines on this side, and on left side these are the panels for our axial flow turbine, that is a small canal based turbine. So I will show you the photograph, actual photograph of the site, where you will find there is no difference in the hard panels which are set up at our lab and which are actually available at the project. Now, one project of 2 into 1.8 megawatt Rajbhakti we just simulated. It is a ROR project, medium head, as the head available at site is in the range of 50 meter. And because the medium head turbine is there, we are having a horizontal Francis turbine here. Because the you know that we are having two simulators. One in the morning I had discussed, we had three machines: high head Pelton, medium Francis, and low head Kaplan. And the controls of our high head Pelton and medium head are almost same. Now, and in at most of the projects we are having a Francis turbine. So to cover the whole range, we just because of the limitation of having two simulators, we just chosen the Francis turbine because it covers 80% of our equipment installed at the project. Now, this is now in the turbine also we are having the word you are seeing horizontal. Actually, we can have a machine turbine with a horizontal or vertical. If the rotor shaft is horizontal, that is a horizontal turbine. And if a rotor shaft is vertical, so that is our the vertical axis turbine. So both the combinations we had selected. Now we had taken both type of the generator also. At this project, it was a synchronous generator, and at other project we will see the use of induction generator. Now the panels excitation system, and we are having the generator and transformer panel, excitation panel, turbine start panel, and unit synchronizing panel. So now other auxiliary system at site, just like the servo motor, just like the auxiliary system, like our the DG set, like our the supply to the our all these panels, all these auxiliary systems are this modeled in the soft panels only. Now, at the project we had this Francis turbine, and I told you in the morning. Now this is our the valve which controls the operation of machine with the signal coming from our governor. So it can, there are two controls here in this project. So this is a fully open and fully closed positions. And now in Francis turbine, we had the wicket gates. Okay. So which can, so there are two level of safety here, which is there at all the projects. And now these are the actual panels. You just see, and this is our IIT team. These are the, so actually these small hydro projects, when they are constructed at site, so the subsidy which they are getting, so they have to final get all the project tested, whether they are generating as per the requirement. Because it has been seen that to get a subsidy is based on the installation. Suppose the project is of 10 megawatt, so they just prepare the report for 20 megawatt, so that the subsidy which was linked on the installation base, so their contribution of 30%, because the project cost up to 30% is to be borne by the developer. Balance they can get a funding from state government, the financial banks, and around 1 crore per megawatt is a subsidy which is available from the central government. Just to get a subsidy, they are inflating the installed capacity. So government had decided, number one, that the final generation, if suppose it is 10 megawatt, they had just mentioned in their DPR that this project will generate, say, that much million units. So so they have to, after the machines are commissioned, so they have to show that it is generating at least 80% of the units claimed. And second thing is, when they are the machines which they are purchasing, you know, if suppose you are getting machines fabricated from, in one of the cases, the machines were purchased from China, and turbine material was 13 by 4 chromium nickel was a standard one. They just mentioned that it is nickel chromium is there, but when we asked to confirm the percentage of this type 13 by 4, they just increase their prices by $50,000. So we are having a developer in this field which are not very very technically sound. And you know, in the controls also, the just because they are having two level of controls. So one level of controls is speed is higher, relay will operate, voltage over voltage under voltage relay will operate, and then the signal will go to master relay and master. So and if any of the relays are not working, the second level of safety is master relay will trip and close the system. In some of the cases, all other relays are removed, only master relay was provided. So if the master relay fails, then safety of our project is endangered. So our team visits for those projects which get the subsidy. So if you see that these are the panels at the project site, these are the panels which are available in our lab. You will not find any difference. When we commissioned this lab, we asked the operator of these projects, Raj Bhakti, and the second project is a canal based. So when this simulator was commissioned, we asked the operator from Raj Bhakti. Similarly, for other project, when we asked the operator from that project, and they were asked to operate the system as they are operating in their the project. So they just confirmed that all the operations here are same as they are performing at their labs, at their projects. And here all these operations can be done from the hard panels which you are seeing in front of you. And we are having a three systems. These are can be operated from here also. And the other, so I will show you the other project is a canal based projects where we are having axial flow turbine, and you just see this is a panel at actual project at Narangwal, and this is the panel, hard panel available in our lab for this project. So, so now you just see this is a turbine which is vertical axis and siphon intake turbine. Basically, what happens, you know that for these projects, for these machines, we don't require any gate system. Otherwise, for closing the operation of gates, we need a gate which we had discussed in modeling. Here, that operation we achieve by creating a vacuum. So we create a vacuum. We have vacuum pumps here. So the water gets lifted and falls over the runner blades, so which start running. It is a vertical shaft and generator is mounted at the top. And when we have to close these machines, what we do, we generally just open the valve, break a vacuum, and then water stops flowing. It is because, and you know that these machines are so good. It has, they had, so our expenditure on excavation, because they are around 2 to 3 meter higher. Every machine parts is above the water level. So, so if you want to repair, provide a maintenance, no problem, because the runner blades are above the water level. In normal machines, everything is underwater. For maintenance, you have to close from upstream side, you have to close from downstream side, dewater the area, then our runner blades were accessible for maintenance. Here, nothing is required. So now we are involved in around 21 projects in Bihar on Canal Falls. The slide which I had shown you in the morning, all these projects, the earlier projects were having a S-type Kaplan turbine where we had provided upstream gate and downstream gate. But after that, remaining 12 projects are siphon intake turbines where we had reduced the cost of machines. Hello. Okay. We had reduced the cost of machines. We had reduced the cost of gates. We had reduced the cost of civil works because we don't require for providing a gates at least 2 meter upstream pier is required. Similarly, 2 meter downstream extra pier is required on downstream side. All these things are avoided in this one. Now, the panel which you are seeing here. So actual panel and our panels, no difference, giving a feeling of control room of that project. Now, operations which we had simulated is a normal operation, which we discussed, a gate from 0 to 100%, so that your the discharge from 0 to no load position, it will come, developing a the runaway the rated speed, and then from there to the full load, arranging discharge, because now I discussed in the morning that the discharge at your project can vary from maximum during summer and minimum during winter. So hello, hello, please, is there any question? Okay, now the second is the,
Sir, please mute all the participants. Sir, please mute all the participants.
yes, I will request every participant to please mute, because in the end of this one, I will allow everybody to ask a question if they want. Is right? Now, hello. So now indicating the 4B level rise and fall. Actually, you know that in the morning I discussed that this the four-way level, the difference of the four-way level and powerhouse level is the gross end. So as the four-way level is going down, when it will go down, when the water coming to the four-way is stopped. So what happen? The water available in the four-way tank will keep on going down. So it is sensed by our sensor. So it is indicated, and after certain time, a signal will go that the water level is going low. So trip the machines. So starting of turbine auxiliaries. Which are these auxiliaries? Which supply the power to other associated equipment like servo motor, like the panels. So we had, and here is there is a cooling system also. So so these auxiliary panels are there, a soft one. Oil pressure unit, bearing cooling water pumps as a auxiliary. Opening bypass valve and main valve, this is again auxiliary because you are having so bypass valve and main valve is you will see on the main panel. Opening unit brakes, main panel. Guide vanes of the machines, main panel. Turbine speed indication, so it is there on the panel indicating the meter. So so all these things are normal operations which you can perform in our simulator lab. Opening unit brakes, opening guide vanes, turbine speed indication, switching of excitation system. So now now here the important part of this is a abnormal and emergency conditions. You know, in a simulator, the advantage of simulator lies here. The malfunctioning of the equipment is you had provided so many relays, but and you are keeping that these relays are functioning well, but you don't know what will happen if these relays will not function. And you know, major fault in the project is not the operation. Major fault is of the in the project is not the design failure. It is a operational failure. The nuclear project in Russia, that was a operational failure. What will happen? So when there was some tripping, so there was a command that all equipment should be closed. So they closed the passage of the steam also. So what happened? The pressure of the steam was building up, and finally it was blasted. So similarly here, what we do, all we had simulated around 130 malfunctioning, which we can perform here. What we can do, because you know that our the project should work with cooling water. We cannot allow what will happen if cooling water is not available. But here we can block the cooling water pumps working. We can block the filter of the cooling water. We can choke those filters. So what will happen at the project? You can see working happening here, because anything working at your project can be seen only on the panels. And same thing is being done here. So when we have a regular training courses at our simulator, where we had a 6-day courses there, and this is 6-day courses for our the in-service engineers, 15 days course for our fresh engineers, and tailor-made course for our the different agencies which want some to arrange some the training courses on this simulator. So in that one, the main thing is this one, that what will happen if some faults happens in front of you. And in the training also, when we take a test, we just create some malfunctioning. Similarly is emergency conditions. Actually, emergency conditions are different than abnormal conditions. Abnormal conditions is malfunctioning of our relays. Emergency conditions is suppose your machines are tripping off. So what will happen? Our machines should reach to a speed twice of the rated speed, where all the energy available with it is consumed in running the project at twice of the speed, that is called the runway speed. You can see in simulator that when your machines are tripped off and your servo motor is not working, because servo motor will close your the gate opening, so you can't see the rated conditions, runaway conditions. Runaway condition will come when tripping of machines as well as failure of servo motor. You can see here that is a emergency conditions. So here, so this is a simulator. Now I will show, so this now I will discuss about a Rajbhakti simulator screen, how it is working here. So on the screen you will see this figure. On the left side you will see the actual project which is there at site, which is simulated graphically on right side. Now you are seeing this is our river. These three tanks, one represent the intake channel, second represent the desilting tank, third represent our the power channel, this fourth represent our forebay. Just see from the forebay we had shown a when the water level in the forebay rises, so it comes through this one spill, that is called spillway, and water is finally going to our the downstream side of river. Now from this forebay you will see a penstock. This is supplying. This penstock supplies the water to our turbine. These are the turbines. From turbine it goes through draft tube, and this is our tail race, and tail race finally joins the downstream of river. And now this is a surge tank. What happens when the machines close suddenly, the pressure rises, water passes through. So this surge tank, this is the escape channels, this is the incoming to surge tank, this is outgoing from surge tank, and finally water meets the river downstream. Now these are the two gates which have been shown. These are on the river, and these are called the barrier because this has a, so these are the intake gates on our river channel. And when you are not the water from this is the downstream side, and so these two gates are there. So during flood both the gates are opened. So now any variation which I had discussed earlier, all these variations can be reflected graphically by seeing the water level changing in the channel. It will take the same time as if you open the gate, actual project reaching to desilting, from desilting reaching to our the forebay tank. Everything is simulated like this one. Now in this is our the guide vane positions circuit, and now this is in a guide vane position you will have our the oil in the tank. Okay, and you are having the pump, because in the servo motor you need a pump to pressure the oil at the required capacity, and these are the filters. Basically we had two filters, because if the one of the filter is choked, so the supply will be from other filter. So this system is shown here. Now this is mainly is cooling water system. So in the cooling water system, again the water we had tapped from the inlet pipe. Now this is again two filters. So one of them will be so if this filter is choked, so you can make other filter working, and then water is supplied to the bearing of the generator. Now as a malfunctioning, we can block the supply here. What happens? No water will reach to the generator cooling. So what will happen? The temperature at the bearing will keep on increasing, and we should get a alarm at 5 degree temperature rise. If you don't take any action, then After further 5 degree increase, so machine should trip. That is a normal operation which we see during training at our in our simulator. Now I had shown here, this is now the bus. It is feeding to the grid at 66 kV, and all parameters are shown displayed on the screen. What is the voltage, how much kilowatt is going, ampere, and and on the generator side, because these are the two generator, both generators are here. And you know, if one of the generator is working, so all display at other generator will be 0, and only on one generator it will be displaying how much kilowatt, how much power, and the generation voltage is 3.3. And now on this side we are having a auxiliary transformer parameters, all parameters here. And as you might be knowing that auxiliary side we are having if suppose initially we don't have any power, or if there is no power from the grid, we have a DG set. So this is our 415 bus which is shown here, and this is two supplied on the 415 bus, and all the auxiliary systems are displayed. And so they are 16 in number. All OPU pumps, one and two for one unit, OPU pump 1 and 2 for other unit, drainage pump, because it is a Francis turbine, it requires drainage pump also to so for. And now so now any auxiliary can be blocked in the simulator training. So so these we can block and see the effect. So now if you have any question, or you know that earlier we used to have one course every month. This was free, funded by MNRA, and we had arranged some courses for Punjab State Electricity Board on their demand. And the course content which was we usually cover here, we had changed that one as per their need. So now this type of the tailor-made courses can be arranged also. Now, if you have any question, just unmute and tell, or we go for now the assignment session, which we on the topics which we covered just now. Anybody having any query, any question on the aspect which we had covered on the simulator? Okay, so now this is the modeling part which we covered in my morning session. Now, first we covered that about the water starting time, about the velocity which will reach to the in what time, and I had discussed about the classical function. So this in the first example I had shown, and this I had discussed also in the morning, that gate opening at rated load is not full, it is 94%, because the developer supplier, equipment supplier wants to have some margin for the opening of the gate to adjust their efficiencies. Because when we just purchase the equipment, all our parameters which are mentioned in our tender document are guaranteed. And if there is any shortfall in the efficiency, there is shortfall in the output, so it is penalized. Actually, shortfall in the efficiency can be compensated by drawing extra water from the project. So, but you know that if suppose your machines are of poor quality, so extra, so maybe generally acceptable efficiency of the machines are around 85%. And if the machines are of poor
fabrication, poor quality, their efficiency can be in the order of 60%. And as per the government guidelines, the machine having a efficiency less than 75% are to be rejected. So whenever we do a testing at site, which I had shown you the persons testing at site, so we have to test the efficiency also by measuring how much discharge the unit is taking, how much is the head available, and what is the efficiency coming out. So this is from the subsidy point of view. But from the supplier point of view, again, the shortfall in efficiency of 1% or 2%. Actually, when we just purchase the equipment, we say any machine which is having 1% or 2% higher efficiency, they can quote 5% extra rates, because we know that if a machine is more efficient, so it can produce more power with the same parameter, and we get extra revenue to compensate the expenditure made in purchasing. So we allow the supplier to quote 5% higher because of the system which they are providing. But if a supplier knows in advance that we don't have any measure to measure the efficiency, okay, so or we are not going to measure efficiency, we are going to just see the output on the reading. So they can quote a higher efficiency, exorbitant, maybe 1 to 3% higher, so that they can justify their higher rates. So some of the margins they provide in this one of gate opening, they just have some margins, so they can open a gate a little bit. So that's why this is 94% is the gate opening at full load. 6% I told you that it takes care of 6% gate you are opening, so that it takes no load losses. Just it 6% of the water is wasted, is not wasted, it is utilized to run our very heavy equipment at a rpm of 100, 200, 400, 500, and in case of Francis turbine 750, in case of a Pelton turbine again say around 1000 or 1500. So now if we had a parameter of this project, and if we have to develop a model of this project, so so I had calculated those one. It is very easy of the rated speed can be calculated, because it is required to calculate the water starting time. And now we are getting the flow rate is that much high, and around 7 meter, okay, is okay, and a water starting time. So now this water starting time, we know that now it is related with the wicket gate opening, because the wicket gate is provided to meet the rate. So we will finally work out the water starting time, which is based from here. So the water starting time we are getting is 1.41 second. Our the discharge will attain the full rated speed. Now, after that, we had calculated this parameter of our no load velocity. Just see at no load velocity will be here, and for our MVA base, we had taken 100 megawatt project as a base for this grid. So just to know the effect, how much if the effect of these projects on the overall grid. In the second one, I had shown you the water starting time was given, the mechanical starting time was given. This was around 5 times higher than the water starting time. It means the machine requiring a time to reach at rated RPM is around 5 times of the
time required our water to reach at the rated speed. So for that one, we want to find out the governor parameter. So this is a transfer function of our this is the transfer function of our governor. This is transfer function of our turbine. This is transfer function of our generator. So this should be finally 0. So we will get a equation which will give R is the gain which we had discussed, that how much so what should be the ratio of gate opening and speed sensing. So so all for that one, we need that all coefficients should be positive. It will be positive when this is more than 0. This will positive, so this will be more than 0. So we are getting two values of R. So from this point of view, so our R should be more than 0.2. For so 0.2 means, so our gain should be less than 5, because 0.2 will come less than 0.2, so will come when gain is less than 5. And for critical damping, so we will be B square minus 4AC should be positive, and this gives that the R should be 0.746. So it means the gain should be so instead of 5, it should be 1.34 for our stable operation. So this is a parameter for our so now with these parameters we can adjust the setting of our turbine. A supplier, by seeing these parameters, will adjust our parameters. Now other, I had shown the parameter of our generator, where we have to calculate the moment of inertia constant, and stored energy, mechanical starting time. So I had given a formula. So this has been used to calculate WR square. Then inertia constant, which we had seen, H value, the stored energy with respect to MVA rating, and mechanical starting time, which we had developed the relation. So it is 2 times of the inertia constant. So in 7 minutes, our machines will reach to rated RPM. In this case, this is different than the previous one where it was taking 10 seconds. Now, in the morning, we had discussed a lot about our the different models, different correlations which we developed. So I will present a case study over it. So this is a case study which we had developed on the basis of all parameters which we discussed in the morning, by developing a different correlations for the designs, by developing a different correlations and models for our the cost. So all these have been used in this case, where we had discussed, actually we had developed a case study of 5 projects on one of the river. One project is project 1. We had, because this river, this hydro project was, this was a Bhilangna project. This is the actual project basically. In this Bhilangna project, 5 projects were sanctioned at different elevation. First elevation was this one, 200-meter downstream. The project second came. Further 200-meter, the third project came. Then the fourth project was around 150-meter down, and the fifth project was around 125-meter down. So these 5 projects, what we studied, that if suppose we just have individual projects developed, what is the scenario? if we combined some of the project, what will be the scenario? And all different options, if we provide a dam or if we provide a barrage, what should be a scenario? And finally, we know that if we change our structures, cost will change. And if we change our structures, the losses losses will be different. So all these things have been taken care of while deciding which should be a final layout for our this project. So if you have so now I had shown this is the total area which shows all 5 projects at different elevations. Project number 1, then project number 2, third, 4, and finally 5 project. And the elevation here starting with this one 1651, then 14, then 12, 1250, 1110, and then 975. And all these projects were having a catchment area. You know that catchment area of this project will keep on increasing. Why? Because the whole the catchment area is the area which collects the water for your project, and that discharge is available at the diversion location of our project. So when you go to the next one on the same stream, so all the water which was coming from the first, so this water will keep on coming. So it will reach here. It means this is the area of first catchment is already available, and some additional area is contributing the discharge at this one. So that's why you just have the catchment increase from 407 to 457. But you just see in this one, side is very narrow. That's why we came down by 200 meter in elevation, but the catchment increment of the catchment is only 50 square kilometer. So it is very narrow. But in when we go further down, there is an addition of catchment by around 100 square kilometer has been added. So the water from these all these one, actually what is happening, this portion is not contributing the discharge at this location. This is a tributary which is joining downstream of fourth project. So that's why the all the discharge from this area will be available to project number 5. That's why suddenly the catchment area of last project has increased 2 times. So in between only the increment of the catchment by only 100 square kilometer. The fourth one is again 100. It is only just see 8 square kilometer has been added. Nothing is coming from the sides. Whatever discharge is coming from the back, it is coming here also. No additional discharge coming from the sides. So only the catchment increment is only 8 square kilometer. And here and just the catchment has increased the head available, because the difference in elevation is the head available. So head available is 125 meter, but discharge is too much available because the catchment has increased from 570 to 1150. Now these are the parameters which we discuss all the 5 projects. I had shown the bed level at which our project is located, all catchment up to that location, the discharges. Just see, generally you will find that discharge is always in the ratio of catchment area. So if you just see the catchment here is double, so discharge available for power generation is just double. Now because all these are bigger projects, so we can store the water up to some level. So these levels are given so that we can calculate the head. Then the tailwater level, because the tailwater level here of the first project should be higher than the intake level of second project. So that's why there is a difference of 5 meter here. The second project releases a discharge 5 meter above than the discharge elevation of third project. Third project releases the discharge 5 meter above than the intake level of fourth project, and the fourth project releases the discharge 5 meter above than the intake of fifth project. So this is the difference of the tailwater level and upstream level is the gross head. Take around the net loss as 5%, so it will give you the net head, and finally it shows the installed capacity. Total installed capacity combined of all 5 projects were 97 megawatt. Now, this is I had shown the discharge availability in this curve for all 5 projects. But I am seeing only 4. Okay, I am seeing only 4 curves. This curve is superimposing because the discharge of this one is almost same. Discharge of figure red and the dotted one, Bilangna third and fourth, is almost same. Now, this I had shown the cross section so that I can find the pond level of all these projects, so that I can calculate what will be the dam height at all these projects. Now, so I had shown here, if I just have, this shows the distance from the project, and so what will be the storage requirement if so that I can plan my dam height. Now, dam height and storage. If I provide a dam at different elevation from 50 meter, 100 meter, 150 meter, okay, so so that how much storage will be available with me. So so this shows the storage available at different heights. I had taken 5 different proposals. The first proposal shows barrage. If you recall that I had discussed the correlation developed for barrage. So I had discussed, I had taken in the first case barrages at all 5 locations. Then a different combinations, dam at first location, barrage on all 4. Then I had taken single dam and only one project, dam at first site and the power at the end. I had taken one barrage on river beginning, and so these are the single project, one dam with powerhouse at the end, one barrage, powerhouse at the end, and this has 2 dams with powerhouse in between. So 5 different combinations have been tried. This I had shown here. Having the all, just see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Everywhere it is a barrage. Water is coming from this pipe. This is our powerhouse. Tail race leaving the water. Then it is at the meeting the pond level of second one. Again barrage. Water goes down in the this one. So similarly all 5. And this is in the distance of only 20 kilometer from first project to last project. So this is a section which I had shown here. Now, the plan of this shows the barrage. First barrage, powerhouse, tail race upstream of the second barrage. Second barrage, powerhouse, tail race. Third barrage, powerhouse, tail race, fourth and fifth. So this is the case first, where we had discussed all the 5 barrages. Now, I changed the option. Instead of barrage at the top, I had chosen a dam. This dam will provide the water, store the water, and during winter also
I will get the water for power generation. So almost I can have the same generation throughout from this project. But the problem in this the dam is because upstream of this one, a catchment area is much less, which we had seen in the layout. So discharge available is corresponding to the catchment up to this project. So storage will be less, stored water will be less. So I will get less water released from the dam, but certainly a more generation from the first project. And finally, all four barrages were same as it was in the case first. So in alternative two, I had used one dam in the beginning and barrages for other four projects. Now, so this this layout I had shown by showing the dam at the first and barrages at the remaining four. Now, after that, I had taken two cases, one with the dam at the top and powerhouse at the bottom. And second case, I had taken barrage at the top and then powerhouse at the bottom. So this is a case where I had considered dam at the top and the powerhouse at the bottom. This shows the dam and this shows the powerhouse at the end. Proposal 3. This shows the barrage at the top and powerhouse at the bottom. Case 4. Now, so in the case 4, this is L section. General the convention is first to show the plan first, then a section. But just to make a clarity of the proposals, what we are considering, I am showing the section first, then a plan. So in plan, you just see a barrage. Uh, uh, just see barrage. So this is barrage at the top and powerhouse at the bottom. This shows a barrage at the top and this powerhouse at the bottom. And this is the alternative 5. What we had done here, this is a dam, same as we had considered in the case first. Case first, or I think it's a case second. And the water which this is releasing the water in between. And after that, I had in this proposal, we had considered the bigger dam because the catchment area has increased. So we can have a bigger dam to store more water will be available. So we have a bigger dam to store more water. Certainly. Why we are comparing? Because the last powerhouse is same in all 5 projects. The first diversion is same in all 5 layouts in different combinations. Basically, the losses incurred in between and cost of the structure will matter to finally arrive at the optimum layout suggested. So this is alternative 4 where I had the one dam here and so it is releasing the water before the start pond level of the second dam. And this is dam second and powerhouse and releasing water. This is a case of 2 dam. So now all 5 layouts have been compared and this is alternative 4 is giving the generation cost with minimum 1. Now all these parameters which we are getting is just see alternative 1 was
5 barrages, and alternative 2, we had converted a dam in place of barrage, but the capacity has just see, annual generation we had kept the same capacity, because just see, by putting a barrage and dam,
So we discussed that
the generation, because we get, in case of a barrage, the water which is available for power generation during monsoon, the water will be wasted. So it means there is a lot of effect of energy generation. So keeping the capacity same of 97 megawatt in both the alternative, our annual energy has increased a lot. Because of the dam, we were getting continuously the discharge,
same discharge throughout the year, and that higher discharge was available at other projects also, that additional water. So we had a low energy increase by around 50, say around 50% additional energy is increased, but the civil cost has increased tremendously. Just see, because of the civil, because of the dam there, okay. So we had a increase in cost, dam cost a lot. So that's why this alternative 5 is becomes much costlier, and the E&M cost is no much change here. The total cost, because of the civil cost, is very high, and installation cost, just see here, it is 114 million per megawatt. It is around this is in order, almost in order. That's why the generation cost is around, generally we are getting from our hydro project 4 to 5 rupees a unit is acceptable. You know, earlier our all the hydro projects were being planned in this range. Now with the advent of our solar technology, earlier when we started this small hydro business, maybe 20-25 years ago, but or earlier, because the first small hydro came up in our country in 1983 when we joined our services in IIT Roorkee, and we were given 3 projects. One was the this small head, that is only 1.5 meter head. One project we put up in district Sonipat and generating 400 kilowatt, and other 2 projects was medium head project. But at one project we put up a Francis turbine, that was Jubbal, and both were in Shimla, in Himachal. And at second project was we put up a cruise flow turbine. The pump in turbine mode. Actually, there at that time we were just exploring the possibility of using pump in reverse mode as turbine. So that we just studied at our Manali project, where we put up first a pump in reverse mode. That was in the range of Francis turbine only, and so these 3 projects came up in 1987, and that was the first project. And after, at that time, the solar power was costing 25 rupees a unit. There was no competition with hydro, and you might have seen that a lot of the small hydro projects was coming up. A lot of the initiative was there. There was one initiative from UNDP also. UNDP Hilly Hydro project was there, where we were getting grant from the international funding was there, and for the innovation of technologies we were getting a lot of grant. But now the problem is the solar power is available at low at 3 rupees. a unit. And the problem of solar earlier was that we were not having the round the clock the electricity availability. During daytime only the water this was available. But now the power with battery backup, I think of 700 megawatt solar project has reached to only 6.5 rupees or 7 rupees a unit. Means now what they will do, half of the power they will store in the batteries, and you will get a continuous supply of the electricity from solar also. So because of that one, now the attention of the central government has shifted from from our hydro. It has gone to basically to solar. So the 4.89 rupees a unit is acceptable. And but with the second alternative, where we put up a dam, so not acceptable. It is 14 rupees a unit. It is comparable at so maybe with solar of solar cost of 1980s 1985. But you know, maybe you know that recently we had seen that for the stability of grid, so a attention has been shifted from towards hydro again. And you know, in one of the project in Bihar, I was just having a presentation there where the solar, the hydro was costing around 12 rupees a unit recently. So during discussion, somebody asked, should we go for this hydro at this higher rate also? Then I just replied that, sir, the development in the area is generally from hydro project. And when I started designing our project, at that time, it was 25 paisa a unit was the target energy generation. 25 to 50 paisa a unit. Now 25 has gone to 16 times. Now it is 4 rupees a unit is acceptable. Maybe in future this 4 rupees may go. So it could be, I don't know. But certainly, because you know that maybe in near future the energy at any cost is maybe required. And you know that we had seen the utility of hydro projects also during the recent when we had the closed when we attended the call of our prime PM to close all our system domestic system at 9. So 18,000 megawatt load shutdown was there. So it was the grid was made stable, because there was a lot of hue and cry that there should not be any call of this type because our grid become unstable. But everybody had seen that it was managed, and it was managed because of the hydro. Because hydro project can be switched off within seconds, which we had seen now. So that facility is available with hydro. So for that one, the maybe attention can be towards hydro at a higher cost also. Okay. Again, coming back to our discussions here. So this the cost of 14 rupees a unit. We had seen that installation has not changed, but the cost of the energy has gone very high. Now, this is first and second. Now, if we go alternative third, our installation has reduced to 72 megawatt. Okay, and the cost has gone slightly higher. Let's see what happened to the alternative third. Alternative third, alternative third was this. What we did, we were having a dam at the top, and the powerhouse at the bottom. Okay, certainly because of the less discharge available at the dam site. Okay, so our this alternate will develop a less power. Okay, this is okay. Why it has reduced? We came to know it is a 72 megawatt. This is reduced. Okay, and now
the cost is reduced slightly because the dam cost has come up, is right. The E&M cost decreased drastically because from other packages now the all the equipment has gone out good. Okay, the installation cost has gone high because in comparison to 2, because our the installation is decreased to 72 megawatt. Now annual generation is less, so it should be annual energy net annual energy. Actually, some of the energy we consume in the system as auxiliary consumption, so it will be proportionally reduced, is okay. And generation cost has gone high because our this will happen because our generation has reduced, so generation cost will go high. Now in the alternative 4, we had gone the capacity reduction, okay, civil cost reduction again, then E&M cost is reduced, and installation cost is reduced, and annual energy generation is reduced to half, but it becomes the selected option. Let's see what is alternative 4. Alternative 4 is 2 dams. Okay, because of this one. Okay, alternative 4 is 2 dams. May just see what I think in figure description it could be some change. Alternative 4, 1 barrage on river and powerhouse at the end of river stretch. Okay, so alternative 4 is this. Alternative 4 is this dam, and we compared this alternative. This is alternative 4. We alternative 4, yes, barrage is this one, alternative 4, and the powerhouse is here. So because of the cost of other structures has is not there. Yes, so we can compare this alternative with the dam alternative, where our the cost of dam was so we compare this with the dam alternative. Okay, and 1 barrage at the beginning, and dam alternative is a proposal 3, where we are getting continuous water. Okay, so we compare this with the dam alternative. Okay, so this is there, and although there is no much difference in the capacity, but the generation has reduced drastically from 620 to from the dam side to 370 to the to this one, and the cost has come a to 3.3 rupees a unit because of the cost, because main cost is the dam. Here we had seen alternative 2 and 5. It has 1 dam, it has 2 dam. So both the dam options are always equal because there are 2 proposals of 3 dams. 1 dam, 2 dam and 3 dam. So all 3 are very costly. 14 rupees, 15 rupees and 22 rupees. So alternative 5 is with 2 dams. So this becomes very costly, and comparable are the 1, 2 and 4, which are the cases of the barrages. Okay, and if we have single barrage at this one, so we get the cheapest one. But if you have 5 barrages now, so we have the alternative 1. So now maybe we can say alternative 1 and alternative 4 are comparable. Alternative 1 is all barrages, because you know that with this one, although the power generation is less with this alternative, but the generation is reduced drastically. So even the generation cost is higher at alternative 1, but alternative one can be acceptable, and that is a project actually, because you just see this is a actual project which is available at site. Alternative one. So at all 4 locations we had a barrage, and this study, just see, this study gives the insight that this could be slightly costly if we have only single barrage, and because of the very high head available. Why? You just see, when we have at all 4 locations a barrage, so our head available is we need a slightly more money on the electromechanical side, because if we are having a single project, we can appreciate at project number 4 why the cost is less, because single barrage at the beginning and powerhouse at the end. So you just see the head available for power generation is around 800 meter. So and you know that the turbine type will change, and high head machine cost much less in comparison to low head machines. If you go to any canal project, you will find that turbine runner diameter is in the order of 2 meter, 3 meter. So they are generating only 400, 500, 800 kilowatt. And if you go to the Maneri Bhali project, where the machines are of in the order of 50 megawatts and in the range of this one, the turbine size is much less, maybe around 2 meter. So if your head available for power generation decreases, the cost of E&M works increases drastically because the size of runner increases. So that's why in this case, in our alternative 4, although so you know that we are generating less, but the cost of E&M works reduces drastically because we are having the 800 meter operating head for our machines. So we save a lot on our equipment side. So, but in this study, it was concluded to accept alternative 1 because we are generating 512 million units in place of 370 million unit. So, and this is a actual case also, but this study gives us that although the cost is more, but we can accept this proposal because it gives a lot of energy generation. Now, we had around 15 minutes available with me. So I want to just have a discussions about because about this generation cost, what are the components of generation cost, how we are calculating here. So I will have 5 to 10 minutes discussions on this issue. If you have any question on the portion which we had covered, that can unmute and tell me. Hello, am I audible? Anybody? Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Any question regarding this?
Good afternoon, sir.
Okay.
Sir, I want to ask that which type of generator will be used in a hydro power plant? On which basis? Because we have the multiple generator in the market: induction generator, synchronous generator, PMSG generator. So, which you want to suggest for the power plant?
Actually, you just see the synchronous generator is the most successful generator so far, because and you know the for smaller capacity projects in Punjab, the induction generator with capacitor bank, because the problem in induction generator is you don't require the reactive power also.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so now we induction generator with capacitor bank were used at 8 projects in Punjab, but they were of smaller capacity. Okay,
Okay.
and
Yes,
now so you will generally find everywhere the synchronous generator to be used for these projects.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Okay, any other question? Okay then.
Sir, in
Yes, please.
Punjab, as you said, mostly it will be this canal-based power generation, right?
Yes.
Low head,
No,
3 to 5
no,
meters.
no. You just see the biggest project in our country earlier, prior to our TRI, it was Bhagra Dam.
Okay.
Okay, so you know that canal has come up from that only. Once they just have the Bhagra Dam, then they regulated the water.
Okay.
And then develop the canal system. Okay, but
so
I told you in the beginning, on the canals, there has to be you can think you can have a different because on the irrigation canal it is mandatory to provide the fall after every 10 kilometer, because the slope in the irrigation system is 1 meter in 5 kilometer average to 1 meter in 10 kilometer, very mild slope, it is almost horizontal. But our natural ground slope is higher. It is 1 meter in 1000 meter. It is 5 times steeper. So what happens when you provide a irrigation system? So irrigation system will be provided in filling, because if you just want to make the bed of the river canal, you have to make a filling. But filling cannot be more than 3 to 4 meter. After that, it becomes expensive. So what we do in 3 to 4 meter means we reach up to if we provide 5 in 5 kilometer 1 meter drop 1 meter drop 1 meter drop in the bed. So it means around we will reach up to after 10 kilometer we make a drop in the canal bed and make double of the drop, so that material excavated from the river from the canal used for filling. So cutting, filling after every 20 kilometer, making a fall. Those falls we are tapping for power generation in Punjab, in Bihar, in UP. Yes, please.
Okay. So what will be the maximum capacity possible in that single generator, single turbine generator units in that case?
You just see all canal projects on our the Ganga canals. Okay. So so they are come they come in the category of canal falls, and we had generated the projects up to 3 megawatt in Bihar. Okay, so it depends upon the discharge and head available. Maybe the power equation which we are having 9.81 QH into efficiency. This is valid for all type of project. Whatever the discharge available is Q, whatever the head available is H. H could be as low as 1.5 meter as in our case, which we provided a project in our Haryana. Okay.
Okay.
So you multiply both, multiply by the efficiency of G 9.81 and then a efficiency. So this equation is applicable, and just this efficiency is a multiplication of efficiency of turbine, multiplication of efficiency of generator, multiplication of efficiency of gearbox.
Okay.
Which is generally turbine is 90%, generator is 95%, and gearbox is 98%. So all multiplied together becomes efficiency, and this equation you apply everywhere. With a caution, this H is not a gross head.
It is the head available minus losses. Yes, please.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
In Gujarat, most of the canal are placed by solar panels for power generation and reduce the
Yes.
evaporation of the water from the canals. It is feasible.
Solar panel, you want to say?
Yeah. Yeah, solar panel applied on the canals for power generation also
No, these solar
in
panels,
Gujarat.
yes, you can just see, because there is a problem of the yes, just on canals. You just see that land is that land, the area where you are running a canal. Okay, you don't find any other purpose, because now there are two type of there are two concepts now. You can have a floating solar panels, floating solar panels,
Yeah,
which
yeah.
which can be floating on the water surface.
Water. Yeah.
Okay, so that is a utilization of the area which is occupied by our canals.
Oh.
Otherwise, these are the simple canal. This is solar projects which you
Yeah.
can put those panels anywhere else. But
Mhm.
this is the dual utilization of the canal area.
Area. And it's reduce the evaporation also.
No, this is what operation?
Evaporation of the water from the canals.
No, actually, just see. You know that the irrigation canal systems are mandatory irrigation system, and they are the water level in those systems are governed by irrigation.
Oh.
The fundamental rule of irrigation system is during your the summer
Yeah.
or summer, when you require the water most, you
Mhm.
have the minimum discharge available for irrigation also.
Irrigation.
Okay, the problem is that's why the water level in the irrigation canal system also reduces.
Oh.
And all tributaries also from the main canal also gets the less water.
Yeah.
But as soon as you put up a project on irrigation, what you do, you just make the water level same at all discharges, because in our hydro project, the level in the level in the forebay system is maintained by our automatic gates.
Gates. Yeah.
So if we are having half of the discharge in irrigation system, so that water, so our the discharges which our tributaries are
Yeah.
taking same discharge in the main canal is half, but in the tributary it is going as the irrigation canal system is running full, because the discharge in the tributaries of taking from main canal depends upon the level of the water in the canal.
Yeah.
So what happens? Irrigation will never allow to control the level by power persons.
Okay.
Because you know this problem we had seen in our power projects in our Haryana. What happened? We made our a spillway arrangement by the side of our powerhouse with automatic gates. They were maintaining the water level at half discharge also, full water level. So irrigation persons came to us and put up a chain pulley block on our gates that almost blocking the operation, that this will go up and down only when we desire.
So
Because
one question.
yes, actually the
Yeah.
problem I told you now, when the discharge in the main canal was half, the upstream tributaries were drawing the water on the basis of the level full.
Yeah.
So irrigation all disturbed. Downstream of our powerhouse, discharge are not available for irrigation, and upstream of our powerhouse, the discharge are available full. So irrigation will not allow to control their levels.
So one question is there.
Yes.
Can we use?
Yes, please. Hello. Yes, please.
Can you use the penstock with a spiral
Yes.
shaft for generating the power without using the turbine?
Okay. In the penstock, the water has the hydraulic power, water power.
Yeah,
Water power can be converted into
the electrical power only through once it is converted to mechanical power.
Yeah.
There are okay. So what some there are the studies are there. You can put up a turbine in the flow passes in the drinking water supply scheme also, very pico types of things.
Mhm.
Okay, but in the until unless you rotate your shaft, you
Yeah.
rotate your runner, you cannot get a power.
So spiral shaft we can use spiral, the conveyor type in the penstock, and we can connect that generator directly to that shaft instead of turbine.
Just see, don't you feel it becomes a intake of turbine everywhere?
Yeah.
If you are having that arrangement,
Mm-hmm.
so don't you feel it becomes a the intake of the turbine everywhere?
Yeah.
What is a turbine is a pipe coming,
Mm-hmm.
getting a bend, and in between a runner comes, and runner shaft goes out of the penstock.
Yeah.
It's the
Yeah.
same thing.
Okay. Okay.
Is it right?
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Any other question? If okay, just see if there is no more question. So now I want to just have here when we just calculate the generation cost here. So the total cost which we are calculating is the investment once investment. Which is for say 50 years or 100 years of the life of the project, and revenue which we are getting is on annual basis. So what we do when we calculate the generation cost, we convert this cost which we spent for 50 years. If we multiply this cost by 20.2 factor, this cost comes on annual basis. How? Actually, you can see 10 to 11% is the interest. If you take this money from the bank, so you have to pay around 11%, 10% on the interest to the bank. Then you have to when you are operating a plant around 2 to 3 so you are making an expenditure around 2% of the cost of the project on operation maintenance. Total becomes 12%. Then there is a depreciation of all equipment around 4% towards the cost of the depreciation, because depreciation civil works will be for 100 years, depreciation for electromechanical works will be for 35 years, so around 4%. So this becomes 10 plus 2 plus 4, around 16%, and 4% extra you can take for working expenses and returning the loan. So around 20% is the annual expenditure. So whatever the expenditure you are making, you multiply this by 2 by 0.2. So that comes on expenditure on annual basis, including all operation cost, all maintenance cost, and all depreciation, all interest. And you calculate the gross energy generation you had calculated, and you just take some losses. So that's why it is coming 512. So that's why you just multiply this with revenue you had earned from the operators or from the owner, and ratio of this is the generation cost. So this ends our discussions for today for on this one. Now in the end I want to just share something. Actually I was told that you had a good experience of the meditation on the first day by Isha Foundation and ESCON. So I think you had a wonderful experience there. So in this experience I want to add, because there is a very large gathering, that every religion we are having our the literature, the books which gives us the way of life. So similarly we are having with us a Bhagavad Gita also, having 700 shlokas in 18 chapters. So I had learned 7 to 11 chapters, all shlokas in Sanskrit. As I was, somebody told me that whenever you had some problem in your life, one or two shlok can help you to solve that problem. Actually, I want to share this experience. One of my relative lost their son at very early age, and they were blaming each other for this mishappening, and they reached to the point of separation. So then I just that was my younger sister. So I just asked him, in Bhagavad Gita in chapter 7 there is a shlok, Ved aham shlok number 26 in chapter 7, Ved aham samtitani vartmanani च अर्जुन है. हे अर्जुन, मैं जानता हूं samtitani past and vartmanani means present, भविष्यानि च भूतानि, I know the future of every creature. So it means this is a literal meaning of our shloka. Interpretation of this shloka will be that whatever happening in our life is with in the knowledge of God, and it is finalized by Him on the basis of our karma, which we have done in this life or previous lives. So I asked I just told my the sister that as per this shloka and you have a faith, then how can you blame others for anything happening in your life? It is only because of your karma only as per this one. So try to just remember this shloka every time, every time, and this done a miracle. Now after that she realized that this is right. How can I blame others for the mishappening in my life? So similarly there are other shlokas also which I had experienced on others. So now, so that because I know because I recite this 25% of the shlokas of our Bhagavad Gita every day. So maybe if you have something to discuss, you can share with me. Now, thanks a lot. So enjoy the day, and we can close the session. Thanks.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Pratham ji. Hello, Pratham ji.